Wrestling fans, welcome to the Maniac Podcast. I'm your voice guy, Plarby.
Tell me, baby, that you love me. There's nothing higher than me. If love and freedom's all that we need, follow me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, maniacs of all ages, yes, you are not dreaming. You are not hallucinating. We are back on YouTube. The Maniac Podcast is back. And also, on our podcast. And we got a new website now for our podcast. What's it called again? We're new.
Bear with me. It is Podbean.
Oh yeah, we're part of that website now. We are doing our podcast on there. We were going to do it on SoundCloud, but for some reason we couldn't upload anything on SoundCloud. So we're going to use Podbean, and we hope you maniacs enjoy our podcast. And as you see, making his return to the podcast all the way from the UK, my loving oWoUK brother, Rick Pete. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, buddy.
That's good to hear. We got a lot of things to talk about, and I see
Just
you.
want to spell that out there for you, Josh.
An AEW is Jericho T-shirt. That's awesome, brother.
I bought that especially for you. That's just for you.
Appreciate it, brother. I really do. I love that shirt. I need to get one for sure.
The next one is the Mox one.
Ooh, John Moxley. That's one guy. By the way, Maniacs, we got a lot of things to talk about right now, and also we're going to be also talking about John Moxley on our channel. Let's start off with one thing first, Richard. I got one question for you. What is your thoughts on the WWE 24/7 Championship belt?
All right. Well, as you know, I don't watch Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. I've been pretty much pay-per-view hopping.
Mm-hmm.
But I do sort of keep up on who's won it, and it pretty much seems to go between R-Truth and I want to say Rockstar Spud, but it's Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen in the videos, it should basically be called the WWE Roll-Up title.
Yeah.
Because that's how everybody seems to win it. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea.
I remember when it was first announced, and I saw pictures of it. People were hating on this championship belt. When the Universal title was brought, I thought that was going to be the only championship belt that people were going to hate. Next thing you know, the 24/7 title's like, let me outdo you.
Yeah.
And also, the belt, at first I thought the main plate looked like a clock, to be honest. That's what I thought.
Yeah. It doesn't look that well. It's just like big circular thing. It's because we're so used to that shape with the W in the middle.
Yeah.
Because everything apart from the tags, the IC and the US, is all the same. So it's like you're just used to that generic shape. And then when obviously Foley and Bagley went out, this is a 24/7 title. People I've been listening to your podcast before. And you've mentioned that WWE fans say, nobody listens to us. And then when they do something, it's like, I don't like it. And it's like everybody's been saying, I don't want a title that looks the same as everything else with the logo on. And then when they unveil the 24/7 title, everybody's like, I hate it. It's horrible. And it's like, make your mind up. You either want something different or you don't. It's, it's like, today I have binge listened to your 3 podcasts so far.
Yeah.
And it's like I've said in my videos before, wrestling fans are so fickle.
Yes.
It's like one Royal Rumble, they're cheering on Roman Reigns. Batista wins and gets booed out of the building.
And
the next year, they're building up for Roman Reigns to win, and they're booing him out of the building. It's like, no, this time last year, you wanted him to win. But it's just... wrestling fans are just fickle.
They really are. I mean, they can never make up their minds.
Yeah, it'll never change. And that's the sad state of affairs. They're always going to be like, there's going to be people who are going to hate for the sake of hating, and there's going to be people who jump on the bandwagon and hate for the sake of hating. But
Here's the thing for me. I didn't mind Roman winning the Royal Rumble in 2015. And because, like, I thought it was okay. Was he pushed too hard and too fast? Yes, he was. I'll fully admit that. But
yeah,
in the same time, I was like, I thought he was good. I thought he was an okay guy to, win the Rumble. But as I mentioned, it's like, was I a fan of his booking? No, I really wasn't.
no, and that's the key to everything. It's like me and you have chatted before, and my thing to you has always been it's how somebody's booked. I mean, like Roman got a push because they saw him as the new face of the company, but the booking were crap. Whereas you go back to Cena, it was a gradual build-up. And then when he finally beat JBL and he got the title, it was like, right. And everybody were totally behind him. And then all of a sudden, boom, everybody just turned on him.
Yeah.
That is the prime example of the fickle nature of wrestling fans, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've always liked Cena. I mean, like, there were some things I did not like when he was booked, but I've always been a fan of John Cena. And I did not like his relationship with Nikki Bella, I can tell you that. That was just...
But at least that was a real, genuine, legit relationship, unlike Seth and Becky.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I've seen more chemistry in a biology lesson.
Yeah, I never thought of that. That's actually a good point.
There's
never really...
absolutely no chemistry at all. I mentioned this in one of my videos.
I saw, yeah.
And there's just no chemistry. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. But at least with Cena and Nikki were legit. And as much as I don't like the Bellas, and you know how much I don't like the Bellas.
I know you don't like the Bellas at all.
But at least Nikki and Cena were legit a couple. And, all right, WrestleMania was set up for him to propose to her and all that crap. But, it was what it was. But at least they were genuinely a couple. Whereas we're supposed to believe that Seth and Becky are a couple, but there's just no chemistry between them. I like I said, I don't watch Raw. Have they even kissed?
No.
On the screen?
No.
There you go. What couple is together and doesn't kiss?
I seen Drake Maverick kiss the 24/7 towel more on television than I seen Becky and Seth.
Yeah, you see, it's totally staged, and we're expected to believe that they're a couple. And it's
it's like what Mr. Bones said. They probably have chemistry off camera. They probably look fine off camera, but on camera, you don't see nothing. You don't see no chemistry. It's like, how do I put it? It's like trying to book me in a relationship with someone, and you could definitely tell we don't want to. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But you like, people are not going to buy it. They're just like, what? Those two are together? Okay, let's see how it goes. There's no chemistry at all.
Exactly. I mean, it's like even at end of Extreme Rules when they were stood in ring together, and she slapped him on the backside, and he was like, "What?" And it was like, "No, dude, seriously. If you were a genuine couple, you'd have been ready for that."
Yeah.
There's just nothing there at all, and it's sad.
There's only one picture of them kissing. It was just a picture, and that was it. But
anybody can stage a picture.
I know, right? But that's the thing. It's just like, it's just a picture. And still, like, Mark Henry and Mae Young had better chemistry.
Yeah. And that's the scary thing.
And that was a staged relationship.
Yeah, it was.
Still more chemistry.
Yeah. Perry Saturn and Mop had more chemistry.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. That's true. Moppy. Oh, God rest Moppy's soul. Reagan killed her.
You see, we're assuming Moppy's not around. You could be working somewhere.
Well, that's true. That's true. She could probably be working with me at McDonald's, probably.
You see, you don't know this. You don't know. She's that low key. Nobody knows where she is.
That's true. That's true. But anyways, like right now, like I know we were supposed to talk about the 24/7, but right now I want to talk to like do you think this relationship between Seth and and Becky's even gonna last.
I think it'll do a storyline, like the whole Kane and Lita thing. It'll be a storyline, but I'd see, at the end of the day, if they genuinely were a couple, then you'd like to say, right, take it off screen now and let them get on with it. Like when Triple H did the whole fake marriage thing with Stephanie, and you were seeing Stephanie behind China's back, and then it were like, right, Stephanie and Triple H are legit a couple, but they kept it off screen until they'd been together for years, and then it all came out that they were together and everything, and even in the McMahon Helmsley thing, they had more chemistry than Seth and Becky.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what Triple H even says. Like, even though we were trying to keep it a secret, everybody knew about me and Steph.
Yeah, they did. Everybody knew backstage. It's no secret that loads of people knew about them. But yeah, I mean, it's like they had more chemistry on screen.
Yeah,
and still do now. And
they're called the new power couple, by the way.
Yeah, the new power couple.
Oh, and another thing I get so annoyed is every Raw so far, Michael Cole's like, hey, did you guys know that Seth and Becky are dating? This is every single week. And on a pay-per-view. Did you guys know that these two are dating?
Yeah, exactly. So they're ramming it down your throat so you know that it's not real.
Yeah.
So we've really got to push this because nobody's believing it. And that's because there's no chemistry between them.
What's your thoughts on Seth and Becky trying to defend their relationship on Twitter? I mean, like, they were literally trying to fight with fans saying, like, we are a legit couple and all that kind of stuff.
Nah, it's just carrying your character onto social media, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, let them go for it. If that's what they tell them to do, then let them do it. But I don't know if you did you see the back and forth between Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay on Twitter?
Yeah.
That was very interesting to watch.
It really was. And
I mean, I love Seth Rollins, but when he mentioned wages and stuff, it was like, no, dude, no, you've lost it now.
Speaking of Seth Rollins on Twitter, did you see Mr. Bones' tweets about Seth?
Which one?
Oh, he said a lot about it.
There's been so many. It's like my Twitter's like glowing, and when I look at it, it's just Mr. Bones ranting about Seth Rollins. I'm like, dude, there's only so much I can read in one day.
Like his nickname that he gave him?
Which one was that? I must have missed that one.
He calls Seth Rollins Seth Dick Pick Rollins.
Oh dear. You gotta love Mr. Bones these days.
I know, right?
The dude's a legend. So he's been blocked by JBL, blocked by Ziggler, he's going to get blocked by Rollins. It's like he's on a mission.
And the funny thing is the Alberto one was just a joke that you made on Twitter.
Yeah, I remember that, the Alberto and Paige one. Do you remember when they were relevant? No, neither do I. Paige were like, I'm going to follow you because you're funny. And then Alberto's like, no, I'm going to block you because,
I was a former world champion. Did you know that? No.
Oh, yeah, I blinked and missed it, sorry.
Yeah, I know, but it was all a good fun. That was just a joke, and next thing you know, Alberto got offended. And this guy's like, what, in his 40s, getting close to his 50s?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, like, Mr. Bones has made it clear he does not like Seth after what Seth said about John Moxley. You read that one, didn't you?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like, it's not Seth's legit feelings. Seth, I mean, I don't know if you saw the video on YouTube when cameras had finished rolling on Raw, and Seth called, it was then Dean Ambrose out.
Yeah.
And said, this guy just wrestled his last match in front of y'all. And now he's going, and they have like a legit hug and everything in ring, and Roman come out, and the three of them hugged. But all he's doing is doing what Vince is telling him to say. And that's not Seth. It's him playing his character. He's being told what to say because at the end of the day, them three came through together and they travelled together.
Yeah.
And, they were friends and everything. And for Seth to have just turned and gone, oh yeah, he's took his ball and he's gone on.
It's like what
Mr.
Bones said. It's like Mr. Bones said, like, of course he's going to say that because he's been booked to be like the top guy ever since the Shield started. I mean, think about it. Roman Reigns is a Vince McMahon guy. Seth Rollins is a Triple H guy. Dean's nobody, pretty much.
He's a fans guy.
Yeah, the fans love him. I mean, here's the thing. I remember when the Shield first started, I already knew who Dean Ambrose was. I was like, hey, that's Jon Moxley. I know who he is because of the saw on the head. That's how I first heard of him. And me and Chris,
CCW.
yeah, and me and Chris Helix both said he's going to be the first guy in the group to win the world title.
Yeah.
And we were just like thinking, like, Seth? Really? Why him?
I mean, I was glad that Ambrose won it.
Yeah.
Because he deserved it. And the night where he beat both of them for it were just immense. You know, he defended against Roman and beat Seth and whatever it was. Oh no, Seth beat Roman and then Dean cashed in on Seth, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that one night, all three Shield members were World Heavyweight Champion.
And it's funny now that the whole entire Shield are Grand Slam champions.
Yeah.
But you know who the first Grand Slam champion of the group was?
Roman?
No, Dean.
Seth? No, Dean, yeah. Because he
was
had the US tag and then, heavyweight, so yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, the sad part is, nobody mentioned that. When Roman became the Grand Slam champion, that's the one they promoted the most. Dean was the first, but nobody ever mentioned that.
Yeah, it's like everybody goes on and slates him for his US title run. Like, oh, but he didn't defend it. Well, that's not up to him.
He
got the belt
on house shows. He defends it on house shows.
Yeah, I mean, he got the belt put on him if they've got no for him. It's not his fault. That's down to creative.
I mean, it's just a shame that how WWE treated Dean. I mean, it's just like, but here's the thing. He took it like a man, and no offense to no offense to CM Punk, but Dean was more like, I mean, I get why CM Punk left and all that kind of stuff. I get why. But instead of trashing WWE and all that kind of stuff, Dean just pretty much said, it's time for to move on. Do something else.
Yeah, he let his contract expire. He told him he wouldn't renew it. And that way, he knew that if he finished at WWE on the Monday, he could go wrestle for anybody else the next day because there were no wrestle, no compete clause in his contract. So he did it the right way. He battered it out. He hated the last gimmick, but he saw it out till his contract finished, and then he was like, right, I'm left. Had 2 weeks to himself, and then turned up at AEW or something.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's on New Japan and he's winning the US title. And it's like he's already done more in a month and a half of being released from WWE than he did in 2-3 years in WWE. It just goes to show.
Like, I actually found out that Dean said he needed to take a break from wrestling.
Yeah.
Take a break. 2 weeks later, he's in AEW.
And I think his idea was we're going to have a bit of time off, but they must have said, look, this is what we're going to do. You can be you, do your thing, and just go for it. And it must have been a case of, do you know what? Yeah, I'll give it a go.
I always thought when they said he needed to take a break, when I hear he needed to take a break, I think he was saying, I need a break from WWE in general.
Yeah.
Like, you travel every single day, and Dean did not like you said, he did not like his gimmick. He did not like how he was being written and all that kind of stuff. So I need a break from you guys. Go somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, look at how many people have left WWE and done better. Like, obviously, you got Dean or Mox. You've got Neville or Pac, who's gone back to being amazing on Indies again.
Yeah, but he's a legit douchebag in real life, I found out.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah. You got Austin Aries. Didn't like how we've been done in WWE. Left there, and the next thing you know, he's grand champion again on TNA.
He was the belt collector. You remember that? You remember that?
I nearly as many belts as I do.
He doesn't have them all anymore. I know that for
No, but it just goes to show that it's not all glitz and glamour in WWE.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling and not WWE, AEW. Like, what is your opinion and thoughts about AEW?
Well, so far I've watched Double or Nothing, and I really, really enjoyed it. Like I said in my review video, the best match for me were Cody and Dustin.
In a heartbeat, yeah, I agree.
And you know that I've never been a massive Cody Rhodes fan.
Yeah.
But the minute he left WWE and he went to Ring of Honor and New Japan, and he sort of became his own thing, it was like, yeah, I told you I was leaning towards like, yeah, this guy's all right. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was doing a lot better. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was kind of a fan of the Stardust gimmick, but I know he hated it. So that's when.
Yeah, he did. My little boy absolutely loves Stardust. He's got the mask and the gloves.
I have his action figure.
Yeah, he loved Stardust. He thought it was great. He never actually saw him wrestle, but I showed him the mask and the gloves on the Euroshop website, and he was like, "Oh, they're cool." So, when they were on offer, because I'm not paying full price for them because it's, Cody Rhodes, and I refuse. So they were on offer, and I got them for little lad, and to this day, he's still got them stashed away nice and safe.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, he's. But when I showed him a picture of Cody without the face paint and everything on, he didn't recognise him at all. I'm like, "That's Stardust." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "And you see that guy there that he's with?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, "That's Goldust." He went, "What?" And he's like, "But his face is all red." I'm like, "Yeah, that's face paint." And he's like, "No, it's not. He says, that looks like blood." I'm like, "Right, go away. You go watch your cartoons now. Just, know it all."
My God, did Goldust, Red Dust, or Dustin Rhodes, did he bleed badly?
Do you know, I watched that match, and when it had finished, I was like, my God, they really, really went for it, and they didn't hold anything back. And then the thing that got me was when Cody mentioned that he'd been offered a tag match. And he says, "I don't need a friend. I don't need a tag partner." And then he just looked at me and went, "I want my big brother." And I was like, "You bastard."
Yeah, I know, right?
Because as an older brother, I was like that. I was like, "You son of a bitch." Right in the feelings. Now I hate you again. But yeah, I will be honest, and I held my hand up on my review video of the event. My eyes genuinely welled up with tears.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, that is so emotional. And it was like, I need to see this match now.
You know what I thought of? The match was great. I'll fully admit that. But you know what would have made it even better?
If Dustin had won.
No. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing Dustin win. But if
Cody had to win.
But if Dusty Rhodes was there.
Yeah. If it had been sat front row to watch him.
Yeah. He could have been there like watching, or he could have been the ref.
That would have been interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would have been, in my opinion, I think that would have been better if Dusty Rhodes was there. That would have made it so much. Like, even hearing Cody say, "I need my older brother," I could just see Dusty bawling his eyes and just hugging his sons right there. And he doesn't even care if his son's bleeding like nearly to death. He just like hugging them, embracing them, and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
yeah, it would have been nice. I mean, it was like when the Beat Shield for tag team titles.
Yeah,
it was like that. That was just the ultimate family moment.
Yeah, and that was the and I found out that when Dusty Rhodes did the famous elbow on Dean,
Yeah,
Dean was the last guy to get the elbow.
yeah,
And
which he will have loved.
yeah, and right now, like I want to see AEW succeed, but at this point, right now, they're kind of getting desperate at this point. And you probably know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I've got a rough idea, but go on.
They're trying so hard to get CM Punk to sign.
It would be interesting if it did, but I honestly don't think they need him.
I don't think so either. I mean, but
And I don't think CM Punk needs wrestling.
I mean, it's up to him when he wants to go back or not.
Yeah, I mean, his UFC career has not been great.
No, not
And
at
you
all.
know, me and you are massive fans of CM Punk. And it... So there you go. And, I mean, I were absolutely good when I watched his first UFC fight. And he got his ass whipped in like a minute and a half or something.
15
No.
like seconds or something else like that.
Uh,
I live streamed watched it, and when I saw him lose, deep down I was like, I was happy for him to do what he did, but at the same time I died a little inside, just like, oh, 15 seconds, that's not good for you, Punk.
yeah, it's like, dude, you left WWE and you made a big thing of this, and everybody's got behind you, and then it's all just gone wrong.
Yeah.
But
But
it's what
as
it
we
is.
could think of, one thing, CM Punk is still a lucky man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's got a lot of money. He's, you know,
No,
he's
I'm not
set up.
saying that. He's still
I
with
know where you're going.
AJ Lee. He's still with AJ Lee.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were going. But no, yeah, he's yeah, I mean, if he wants to come back to wrestling, there's no amount of places. I mean, he could go back to Ring of Honor, he could go to New Japan, he could go AEW. And I think AEW would just quite happily just say, right, there's a blank check, just put as many zeros on it as you want.
I'd rather see CM Punk go to Ring of Honor or Japan, because right now, Ring of Honor, who is the top guy in Ring of Honor right now?
I've not watched Ring of Honor for ages. I honestly couldn't tell you. Honestly, couldn't. Matt Taven is world champion.
That's all I could think of. Is Matt Taven.
That's as much as I know. Matt Taven is world champion.
The only thing I do know is that Ring of Honor and the NWA are working together right now.
All right.
So, like, if I could ever see CM Punk return, I could see him going back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be awesome to see him go back to Ring of Honor or go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, because K Omega's gone in New Japan. The Bullet Club is pretty much gone. Yeah, pretty much dead.
Yeah, they've got a very, very poor Bullet Club now. I mean, I watched something on YouTube recently, and it showed you how Tama Tonga started the what's it called, Firing Squad.
Yeah.
And that because he got fed up of the Bucks and Kenny Omega concentrating on, you know, doing the YouTube show rather than, you know, wrestling and stuff. And I saw the promo, and it was like he genuinely let loose.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, he was legit pissed that they'd done what they'd done, and it were all about YouTube, and it were all about ratings and, you know, stuff like that. And he let fly on a New Japan show, and I mean, as you know, Tama Tonga's never backwards at coming forwards.
Yeah. True.
And I mean, if it had been WWE, wouldn't have got away with a third of what he said on that. But yeah, you look at Bullet Club now. I mean, you've got Switchblade Jay White, who, I mean, me and you talked about ages ago, and I said to you that guy's going to be huge. When I first saw him in Ring of Honor, and you know, he was IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
All right, he lost it to Okada, who's champion for what, 150th time. But
And people complain about Brock Lesnar.
with reason, though. At least with the card, you get to see the belt.
I know, but he barely defended it, though.
I don't know. I mean, if you sort of look at it, Okada defended it at every show they had.
True.
And like on their weekly shows or whatever the equivalent of New Japan's is, he was always there with the belt.
I know, but what I mean is that fans complain that some wrestlers, when they held the belt too long, like you and me were just talking about, fans complain about, like, if a wrestler holds the belt too long, they'll complain about it. But when the IWGP Champion belt was, like, held for God knows how long, I didn't hear nobody complain.
Yeah, I think that's because people tend to concentrate on WWE because it's easier to criticize.
I criticize the IWGP title not being on the line, and it's stupid that people thought I was like, this guy must be a virgin. I was like, I just complained about one thing, and I get.
So this time you need to sort of start whooping ass, mate. But I mean, it's like you look at the IWGP Intercontinental title, and that changes hands not pretty regular, but regular enough to keep it relevant.
You know what made me sad about that title?
The fact that Naito kicked it all the way down to the ring.
Yeah, that hurt me. I mean, I'm a big you and I both collectors for championship belts.
Yeah,
and seeing him kick it and disrespect the belt like how he did, I was like, you son of a.
Yeah, it's like, I would love just 10 seconds with that in my hand. Yeah. And you've just thrown it and kicked it all the way down to the ring like it's nothing.
That made me sad. It really did hurt me just seeing how he treated that belt. And how long it took him to fix it.
Yeah, it took him forever to seem to get a new belt. I think he kicked it all the way down to the ring, defended it, and then I think by the time it was Jericho won it, he got a new belt, didn't he, really, essentially? Yeah.
And you know what he did when he got the new belt? He left it on the stage. He acted like, it's just a belt. Don't care about it. And next you know, Jericho wins it. Jericho treated the belt with more respect.
Yeah. Right. Intercontinental champion in two different companies.
You know, it's funny we just talk about this. I remember, like, months ago when Jericho won the IWGP Intercontinental title, we were thinking, like, Jericho, isn't he the first guy to win the IWGP Intercontinental Champion and the WWE Intercontinental Champion? Now, as we think about it, Jon Moxley is probably the first guy to win the U.S. title from WWE and New Japan.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when you when you're looking at it that way, yeah, he will be. Yeah, because he won the US title in WWE and then gone straight to New Japan and won their US title. So yeah, 2-time US title in 2 different companies. Jericho, multiple-time Intercontinental champion in 2 different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle who held the IWGP Heavyweight and WWE, same as AJ Styles.
Yeah, so it's just like, right. I think you and I both could agree. The IWGP belts are gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love the belts there.
The tag team ones are a bit plain, but the heavyweight is just a beautiful belt. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video. I did the 10 belts outside of WWE, and that were number 1. And it were like the other ones up to it. They could have traded place on any other day, depending how I felt. But that one was always going to be number 1 because it's just such a beautiful, beautiful belt.
You want to hear something funny about the IWGP title?
Go on.
Do you know who the first champion was?
It wasn't Hogan, was it?
Yes, it was Hogan. But the thing is, even though Hogan was the first champion, but for some odd reason, people ignore the title run. They act like it never happened. So Antonio Inoki is listed the first ever IWGP champion, but originally Hogan was. And also, by the way, I want that version, the first version of the IWGP.
First ever original.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's so hard to find, though.
Yeah, I mean, why don't New Japan make replicas for us?
I think they did, but it was just way too expensive. So
they only do a limited edition of them, and then the stupid money, and then it's like, no, just make replicas of your belts like WWE do, but better.
Yeah,
no, just make the replicas like the WWE ones, because the current replicas are really nice. But you know, if New Japan did it, I would sell a heavyweight title.
Yeah, so, like if they made a replica of the current IWGP title right now, take my money. Yeah, literally.
Make it rain.
Seriously.
I'd drown them.
But like right now with New Japan Pro Wrestling, like Jericho is going after for the title. Can you see Jericho winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, yeah, because at the end of the day, New Japan have got nothing to lose by putting it on him. He's been a world heavyweight champion in WWE. I don't think he ever won it in WCW, did he? I think he just got like...
He got the WCW title, but it was during the Invasion storyline.
Yeah, so, classed as WWE, wasn't it? So, but yeah, I mean, he's been a world heavyweight champion in WWE, so New Japan have got nothing to lose by putting it on him. Yeah,
and Jericho, a fan, I think it was me, it was me. I uploaded a picture of undisputed Chris Jericho when he was the first undisputed champion. And I mentioned Chris Jericho was the first undisputed champion in WWE. Can we see history made again? And it's him holding the AEW title and the New Japan Pro Wrestling title.
Never say never.
Because he's going for the IWGP title, and I think next month he's facing Hangman Page for the... Yeah,
I think it is him and Hangman in it to crown the first AEW champion. Out of the two of them, Jericho definitely deserves it.
You think Jericho deserves to be the first champion instead of Hangman Page?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I remember the first time I saw Hangman. Well, it was just Adam Page in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And I'm going back a few years now, and I watched a load of his matches, and I thought, do you know what? Somewhere down the line, this kid's going to be awesome. But he never got a run with Ring of Honor title. He might have got a little stint with TV title. I probably am wrong. But I think to put him straight in as the first AEW World Champion is a lot to put on him. They need somebody like Jericho who can carry a belt.
Maybe
who's established as a world champion.
Yeah, true. Maybe this is how it should go. Jericho wins the title, right? I think it would have been a better storyline if Hangman Page tries to go after the title while Jericho's the champion. Like, I could see a storyline that happening.
Yeah.
It might even help Hangman Page. I mean, like, it probably could even help him in his career, like saying, I'm going after that title and I'm not giving up.
Yeah, give him something to chase after and make him look like the hungry competitor and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Originally at Double or Nothing, Hangman Page was supposed to face Pac.
Yeah, but Pac he pulled out then because he was committed to his Dragon Gate.
How funny, their next event is called All Out, and Pac was All Out.
Yeah. All out of excuses not to be there. But
originally my guess is, and this is Chris Helix's idea too, is like he just didn't want to lose.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
and the funny thing is, when he did this, it's not the first time he did that. You remember when he refused to lose to Enzo Amore?
Yeah.
So,
now, you see, I heard you mention this when I was listening to the podcast earlier, and I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube where Simon Gotch absolutely buries Enzo.
Yeah, I seen it. so many times.
I've watched it, and I never get bored of watching it. I'll be honest, because Simon Gotch is one of those guys that you can legit believe. I mean, he knows his stuff, and you can tell he is a legit, genuine fan of the sport.
There's one thing I don't agree about him, though. He was defending the girl who accused Enzo.
You see, the video I saw was the one where he was just on about how Enzo grew up in New Jersey, and there's all them wrestling schools, and we never went to any of them. But it never, the video I watched, it never mentioned the allegations and everything.
Oh no, this was another video, another interview. So it's just that. And the thing is like I could believe everything what he was saying, but the things what he said he was defending the girl, I was like, okay,
Yeah, because you weren't there, you don't know what's going on. But the first video I watched where he's on about Enzo and the time he got injured.
Yeah.
When Gotch went out to pick him up and the finished match and stuff. But he was saying how Stone Cold straight away jumped on Enzo's, backed him up because he's a massive fan of it. He's friends with him and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, yeah, I suppose I see where you're coming from there. But
speaking of Enzo, are you a fan of his music?
I'll be honest, I've not heard anything.
Really?
Really, I've not listened to anything that Enzo has done as a rapper.
I'm gonna be straight up honest. I love his music.
You see, you said that, and now tomorrow I'm gonna have to go and listen to some. Later on today, even I'm gonna have to listen to something now.
I already downloaded one song, so I'm not even ashamed to admit it. It's the Phoenix song. That's the first one he made. And it's pretty much talking about everything what happened. So
yeah, rising from the ashes of WWE, and yeah,
consensual penis. He added that in his song, and I remember going on his merch store, and he had shorts that said "consensual penis" and the poop emoji in the back. And the funny thing is, I was showing this to Mr. Bones, and Mr. Bones just said, no.
No, I thought you said Mr. Bones said, yeah, I'm ordering 2 pairs.
No, he was not going to do that. But his brother wanted to buy them, though. And me and his brother were going to go look him up. It's Brandon, by the way, the third member of the E team. And we were going to go look it up and see how much it cost, and they were gone.
You see, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, well.
I'm sure there'll be more on site soon.
Yeah. But speaking of with Enzo, he's been sort of making a comeback to wrestling, but with Big Cass. Big Cass is definitely making a big comeback, too, after his seizure, and he's no longer an alcoholic anymore.
Yeah, so I think for a video on YouTube, and I'm definitely going to have to watch it someday, about Cass explaining his battle with depression and anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
very emotional. It really is emotional.
I mean, I mean, me and you have talked, and you know my situation with depression and everything. I can see where it's coming from, because there's days where you just don't want to get out of bed, but you've got to. You get out and you do your thing. But for him to sort of sit down and take a minute and go, yeah, this is what's wrong and this is what I need to do. I mean, fair play to the guy. I mean, even Gotch said out of the two of them, Cass is a great guy. He says he really is a great guy. It was just Enzo that he had issues with. And he's not the only one that has had issues with Enzo. A lot of people have said that, what you see on the screen is what you get. He's an arrogant little prick. But Cass is just an absolutely, genuinely nice guy.
But you know who did like Enzo? Dusty. What? Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, it's on the, again, going back to the Simon Gotch video, when he's on about how Enzo goes on about how Dusty's his mentor and stuff, and I think somebody's telling this story about some guy who used to knock around with Dusty Rhodes, and Enzo gets the names confused between the guy that they're talking about and Kalisto's real name, and then makes out like, oh yeah, I knew it were, you know, him all along. It weren't Kalisto, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always enjoyed Enzo and Cass. I thought they were. I mean, you know, you've probably seen the videos on my channel. I bought the T-shirts and
I
everything.
hate the fact WWE split them up.
Yeah, I mean, there were no need to split them up.
And
they were a tag team. They were never going to work on their own, really.
No, well, Enzo did a good job. He was a cruiserweight champion.
I mean, it wasn't cruiserweight championship, but really, I mean,
you know what's funny
really
about
care about the cruiserweight title?
Huh?
Does anybody really care about the cruiserweight title?
Me and Chris do. I can tell you that we love the cruiserweight title. It's just a shame that no one gives a damn about it.
See, I've never watched an episode of 205 Live. I've never actually thought to myself, I need to watch that.
I used to, but when Enzo left, then I kind of stopped watching.
You've got network, haven't you?
Yeah.
You need to watch NXT UK, my friend.
Oh, I do.
You watch that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think of our wrestlers then?
I love them, and also I love the current women's champion.
Tony Storm.
Such a beauty, dude. I love her too much. Walter scares me.
Yeah, Walter is a big old unit. Just going to see if I can get this picture up now.
And the UK title, I love that belt.
It is a beautiful belt. It is absolutely cracking. It's one of those replicas you need to get for your collection, mate. You really do. It's a stunning little belt.
Definitely for sure.
Trying to see if I can find. I have a picture somewhere of Miss Storm. Just trying to find it now. I can't find it. Oh, where the hell? Oh dear, I can't find it now. But I've got a great picture on my phone that I use as a screensaver. But it won't. It's not showing up for some reason. I don't know why.
Anyways, I love the wrestlers in WWE UK. It's so awesome.
Found it.
I don't see it anymore, bud.
Hang on.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I love her.
There you go. There's a slightly better picture.
She is gorgeous, dude. She is drop dead gorgeous.
She isn't. She's not bad for an Aussie.
But I want to know is this NXT UK or WWE UK, whatever it's called? Is this similar to WWE's NXT? Are these wrestlers going to go up to the main roster, or is this just the company?
I don't know, because obviously you see, like, Pete Dunne's been on takeovers and stuff, and obviously he were on New York when he lost the title to Walter.
Yeah, which, by the way, I love that match way more than, as much as I hate to say this, but I love that match way more than the Adam Cole versus
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. I love Adam Cole, but that was by far, I'm even going to say this, I know a lot of people's going to hate it, but that was by far Adam Cole's worst match I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know. I enjoyed that match.
No, I hated it because it was predictable who was going to win. And yeah. I hated the ending. I really did hate the ending.
Yeah, it did come across like so far, and it's like you just got the feeling that Cole were going to win.
Yeah.
Whereas the original 2 out of 3 falls match, when Cole got the first fall, you were like, Gargano was going to get the next one. And then when he did, but then when Undisputed Era come down, you were like, this is how Cole's going to win it. And then he didn't, and it were like, whoa, that were a swerve.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. But I mean, it's like the majority of the NXT UK roster now, well, not the majority, but quite a few of them I've actually seen live. I've seen Pete Dunne live. I've seen Trent Seven live.
Nice.
I've seen Kaylee Ray. I've seen Wolfgang. I've seen Joe Coffey. I've seen Mark Coffey. I've seen who else? Lana Austin. She's been on NXT UK a couple of times, and I'm just a little bit in love with her. I've been friends with her on Facebook for years. And then when I went to watch ICW in Leeds, and she come down, and I said to my friend, "Well, I'm friends with her on Facebook," and he's like, "You are?" I'm like, "I've been friends with her on Facebook for ages."
So
yeah, Piper Niven. I've seen her live. She wrestled Lana Austin that night. I went to ICW. Quite a few of them I've actually seen live.
actually, you know what the funny thing is, since you mentioned that, you remember Emma?
Yeah.
I was actually friends with Emma before she even went to the WWE.
Really?
Yeah, and I got to talk to her on Facebook. This was before she was in ECCW. She was Tanila Taylor, I think that's how you say the name. But anyways, never got to see her wrestle live though. But I got to talk to her because she was dating a friend of mine who worked in ECCW. He was a wrestler, Scotty Mack. You remember him?
Yeah. I remember Scotty Mack. Yeah.
She was dating him at the time, and I got to know her. And when I heard that she was going to the WWE, I was so happy that she was going to go. I was like, I can't wait to see her become champion and do all that. And when I saw her do the dance, I know people hated it. And I'm going to be honest. I know people hated the dance, but I loved it. I actually did it a lot every time. Mr. Bones hated me doing the dance, so I kept doing it.
Yeah, well, once you know that Bones hates something, you've got to do it.
He had a 2-liter Dr. Pepper, drank the whole entire bottle, and every time I kept doing it, he would throw the bottle at me. He's like, "Stop doing that dance!"
It's like, no, because it irritates you. But yeah, I mean, she did all right in Ring of Honor as Tennille Dashwood.
Yeah, but the reasons why she hasn't been on there for a while is because she's suffering a shoulder injury.
All right.
And I still see big things for her. I still do. And I do know.
I think she could very well be a women's champion in Ring of Honor.
I had her sunglasses.
Yeah.
But I gave them to my nephew Isaac because he loved them. And I was like, yeah, go take them. So he has them with him at the Marines right now.
Oh, brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And I still will love to have her as a guest. I would still love to talk to her. I don't think she even remembers me, but the thing is like, I would like to see her again. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people hated her, but I was always a big fan. I always stuck by the side. Emelina didn't really care for her. And I found out she did not like it either. So
yeah,
that would have killed her for sure. Like, would you, like, if you were a WWE wrestler and your gimmick was actually good, but they said, oh, we're going to change it, and it's a gimmick that you couldn't stand like Emelina did, would you go back to your original gimmick, or would you just take the money and just deal with it?
See, it's hard to say. You'd like to think you'd have some sort of integrity, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like you either stand your ground and then maybe just become an absolute jobber and just get beat week in, week out, or you go with what they say and maybe have some sort of success in a title run.
Yeah. But that Emelina thing was never going to get her a title shot at all.
No, it were. They should have just left her as she was. I mean, they left Bayley as she is, and it's worked.
Did you hear the rumors that Bayley was supposed to be Sister Abigail?
No, I heard. Oh crap! Now what it? They were supposed to be bringing in. Name's gone, totally gone. But one name I did hear get mentioned was Rosemary from TNA.
That was
thinking of bringing her in as Sister Abigail. But there was somebody else, and I can't remember who the name was.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah, she got mentioned, didn't she? Actually, on as a potential, but everybody knew who she was by that point. But it was somebody that were going to bring in from out of nowhere, just bring her from Indies straight up to be Sister Abigail. I cannot remember the name at all. But it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they had brought Sister Abigail in.
But the thing is, isn't Sister Abigail supposed to be dead?
Yeah, exactly. So it's WWE though, so there's no real logic, is there?
I mean, look at Taker.
Exactly. He's been the dead man for so many years, and he's
Speaking of Bray Wyatt, what's your thoughts on his new gimmick?
Do you know, I love the mask. I've like I said, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown or anything, but I've seen bits on YouTube of him with the mask. I saw the bit where he attacked Finn Balor, and then I saw the bit where he attacked Mick Foley.
He looks creepy with the mask, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this, but this could be an interesting little fact for you. The guy who made the mask for him is a guy called Tom Savini, who did a lot of the special effects for loads of horror films. He did a lot of the Friday the 13th work as well.
Yeah, I've heard of that, and that's even more amazing and brilliant. That's why the mask is so creepy, is because they actually had a pro to make the mask and all that kind of stuff. So I give that a mwah, brilliant.
Definitely, yeah. It's I think it's a great, and there's a rumor. I've seen it somewhere. I can't remember where now. That WWE are actually thinking of making replicas of the mask.
I want that mask.
Yeah, sign me up, because you know what I'm like for my masks.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that will never ever end. I love the Firefly Funhouse. I do. I don't know what is about me, but I'm a sucker for gimmicks like this. I mean, like,
there's no wrong with that. If something like that can pull you in, then it's a good gimmick.
And you know the funny thing is about that? Everybody wanted Seth to be Universal Champion, right? But you know the only things that were mentioned when fans review Raw? The only best thing about Raw was the 24/7 title and Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. Those are the only things that people gave a big thumbs up for.
Says it all. Absolutely says it all then. That obviously they found a gimmick that Bray can go with. And obviously he can do it well. Hopefully they'll make a success out of it as well, because they've tried with other things before and it's not worked, like the whole new Face of Fear thing.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. And, when they were building him up to be this, the new Face of Fear and all blah, 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 and he lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania, and it's like, yeah, it's only right that he should, but, if you want to build him up as the Face of Fear,
you let
maybe have him beat Taker on a lesser pay-per-view, like on a Backlash or
Survivor Series?
Yeah, Survivor Series, something like that, but not Mania. SummerSlam at a push.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a rumor about the Firefly Funhouse. I don't know if you heard it, but there was a rumor, like a theory of how the whole Firefly Funhouse was. This was all in Bray's head, and he's like in a mental institution, and he's just picturing this all in his head or something like.
I never heard that. I know
there's a theory that a fan made, and I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. That would probably explain why we haven't seen Bray for so long.
Yeah, the last sort of theory I heard was that there's going to be two personalities. There's going to be Bray, who's the fun-loving, happy guy, and then there's going to be the Fiend, who's going to go out, do the bad stuff, and then it's going to be up to Bray to go out and try and make amends for it and try and be nice about everything.
I like that, and that's what I see too, and I could see they doing that with Bray, and I actually like that idea for Bray Wyatt.
That would be pretty cool to give him that possibility of the both face and the heel, because I think if anybody could pull the dual identity thing off, it would be him.
Yeah, definitely for sure. How do you see this going with Bray Wyatt's gimmick? Like, how far do you see it? Like, can you see him becoming WWE champion again, or even holding a mid-card title?
I mean, which title is it they have on Raw? Is it the IC?
No, it's the U.S. title.
The US on Raw, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I could see him being US champion, definitely. Universal, I don't know, because that seems to be sort of throwing its way between Seth and Brock at the moment. It's going to take somebody special to sort of come in and stand out and be given Universal title, I think.
Yeah.
But having said that, I mean, I think there's always that possibility that Seth will have his contractual rematch against Brock, lose it, and then Vince being Vince will be like, "Come on then, Roman, now's your time."
To be honest, at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing Roman win the title again because he never lost it.
Yeah, he had to give it up, didn't he, because of his illness.
Yeah.
Which, like I said last time we talked, is when we last did a podcast together, weren't you? I'm glad that he beat it.
Me too.
Because I mean, a lot of the fans now they're back to booing him now. But at the time,
Not just Seth is getting booed now.
Yeah, I think
starting to get the Roman Reigns, and I think a lot of reasons why Roman's is not getting the much booze like he usually does now. It's not because of leukemia and all that kind of stuff. It's because he's not getting pushed like he used to.
Yeah, he's not getting rammed down your throat. It's Seth now, and that's why the crowd are turning on him.
I bet you anything when Roman wins is how people are going to be cheering, and next night people are going to be booing again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'll have Brock win title, and like he has, and everybody will be kicking off. And I must admit, I've not watched Extreme Rules yet, but I watched Money in the Bank, and I was absolutely disgusted at the way Brock Lesnar won it. The way
I laughed. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed
because it's like for 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes, the guys that were already in that ring were absolutely busting their asses, and then he just walks down.
My pick to win that match was Drew McIntyre. I was actually picking for him to win.
I think my pick, if I'd have done a prediction video, my pick would have been either McIntyre or trying to think who else were in it now. The McIntyre or Orton.
There was Orton, McIntyre, Baron, and Ali. That's all I can remember. Who else was on?
I think my picks would have been either McIntyre, Orton, or maybe Corbin at a push. But then when Brock just walked down and pushed Ali off the ladder and then just climbed up it, and he sat and laughed. It's like I said in my review video, that's just Vince just giving the middle finger to everybody.
I actually found out that Ali was actually supposed to win that match. That's why he was on the ladder and he was about to pull it off. But that changed that night to Brock winning.
Oh.
So Ali knew for I think for a couple of days or maybe even a week that he was booked to win. The next thing you know, Brock wins because it was night.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Heyman. He's got Brock Lesnar a multi-million-dollar deal for turning up for 4 pay-per-views and a handful of Raws.
It give us one thing about the greatest thing that Brock ever did: using the suitcase as a boombox.
Yeah, you see, I saw that and I was like, no, I'm not seeing this right. So I watched it again and I'm like, no, the Beast is crappy dancing and using it as a boombox. I'm like, really?
You know what I got off? The vibe from that? You know what I got from it? You know how fans, especially you, thought that was stupid of Brock winning the title? I call that Brock giving the fans the middle finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's why I liked it, is because it was pretty much like saying, oh, you don't like me using the suitcase? Well, I'm going to turn it into a boombox. And fans liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw it and I just thought that's just not Brock Lesnar. It's not his thing, but I mean, he seemed to be enjoying himself. So,
and now he cashed in and won the Universal title, and now he's using the Universal title as a boombox. I was actually, when I saw him cash in, I was like, oh, that means no more boombox Lesnar. And next night on Raw, he was using the belt as the boombox. I was like, okay, hello, old friend. Glad you never left.
I see. I don't really agree with Lesnar being champion. I'm one of those that's all for people who watch Raw week in, week out, being able to see the title like they could when Rollins had it, when Reigns had it. You know, the fact that the belt were there.
Yeah, well, if you you saw Mr. Bones' post on Twitter, right, about Seth and all that kind of stuff. Did you see what he said about Lesnar cashing in?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember how he worded it now.
Hang on, let me take a look. I'm gonna go on his Twitter right now. By the way, go follow us on Twitter, everybody. Mr. Bones, he said, well, the first one was, so please, oh no, that wasn't it. Where is it? Okay, here, it's the, I'm so happy, it's the picture of Lesnar holding the belt. I'm so happy that at Brock Lesnar cashed in and won the Universal title. F you, Seth Rollins, I'm glad you lost. Hashtag thank you, Lesnar. Hashtag F you, Seth Rollins.
See, I honestly thought that Lesnar were going to cash in on Kofi at the Super Show thing. No, the Super Show thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but obviously he didn't.
Yeah, and another one that Bones said, so Seth Rollins, oh no, that's not that one. So please, at Brock Lesnar, kick Seth Rollins' ass at SummerSlam because we're getting tired of Seth Dick Pick Rollins and take him to Suplex City.
See, I'd have to go all the way around. I'd rather Seth win title because at least you're going to get to see it on Raw.
So far, and I read, and also Seth Rollins is so by far, and this is shocking to me that people call him so far the most boring Universal Champion.
Well,
look at his.
Say that, but at least he's on Raw week in and week out. He's not watching.
The reasons why people are calling him boring is because look what he's done so far when he won the title. Who has he faced?
Baron Corbin.
Exactly.
That's not his fault, though, is it?
It's not Baron's fault. It's not Baron's fault. It's just how the storyline was booked. That's why people are saying that.
Yeah.
Just didn't like how it was booked. And also, they did not like the mix, especially Mr. Bones. He did not like the fact that Lacey Evans was the special guest referee. As you probably saw his review, he said that match was way too long and so boring. And then the Extreme Rules match, as we just read his tweet, Mr. Bones hated that match too because he did not like the fact, like you and I both agree, did not like the fact that we were shoving this relationship between Seth and Becky down our throats, and he did not like how the match was booked.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. I mean, it were a pretty piss poor match, to be honest.
And also, he said on
the scary thing is, it was probably one of the better matches on the card.
Huh.
Which says a lot, really. I mean, you compare. If you watch Money in the Bank and then go back and watch NXT TakeOver 25, I mean, it's like I told you last year. I mean, looking back at my channel now, I watched Royal Rumble last year, but then I didn't really watch anything afterwards.
Yeah.
But so you call it from end of 2017, I missed 2018 and picked up just before Mania this year, and NXT was still better than the main card shows. And it just goes to show the difference. But I mean, hopefully now that Heyman and Bischoff are running them, hopefully we'll get a bit of, something better.
Isn't it kind of funny that the two former general managers, the longest general manager for Raw is on SmackDown, and the former general manager of SmackDown's on Raw?
I remember seeing a post on Facebook, and it said something about Vince owns the largest wrestling company in the world, and Bischoff's the GM, Heyman's the GM. We've officially re-entered the Attitude Era. Not Attitude Era, the
Ruthless
2000 or
aggression.
something. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, no,
Straight up say this right now. I'm going to straight up say this right now, and Chris Helix would agree with me on this one because it's the one thing we talk about the most. The Ruthless Aggression Era, in my opinion, is better than the Attitude Era. Because one, I did not grow up with the Attitude Era. I was not allowed to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've talked about this as well, though, aren't we? So, I mean, the Attitude Era it's what saved WWF.
I agree. That's one thing I do take from it. But reasons why I like the Ruthless Aggression Era is because when you hear Attitude Era, the first thing that pops into your mind is just Stone Cold, The Rock, and Vince. Don't get me wrong. I love those guys. But when you say Ruthless Aggression Era, what me and Chris say, when you say Ruthless Aggression Era, you say Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the world's greatest tag team. You think of all the Mexicools and Rey Mysterio, the Cruiserweight title, Tajiri, Rhino.
Yeah.
You think of all those great wrestlers, and you think, yeah, I like this era a little bit better. I mean,
yeah, I must admit, I
did not treat women very well. Let's both on that one.
No, the Attitude Era were very, very demeaning to the women.
But why do fans keep asking for the Attitude Era back if they both know that back then for the Attitude Era, there was a lot of things that were kind of offensive. I'm not saying the Ruthless Aggression is innocent on that one. Katie Vick. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was the one time I was actually kind of embarrassed to say I was watching WWE.
Yeah, that was just a mess.
At least Mae Young gave birth to a hand, and that was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was a lot of things in the Attitude Era that was just like, you know how people get offended really easily now these days?
Oh yeah, everything's offensive.
So why would they want to bring back the Attitude Era? Which there was a lot of that back then.
That's probably why they won't bring it back, because everybody will just be jumping on the it's offensive bandwagon.
The closest thing we got an Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Era is when, I'll straight up be honest, is when Punk was champion.
Yeah. Yeah, probably would actually. Yeah, it's probably the closest we ever came to sort of back in the day.
Because the pipe bomb and everything Punk was saying, it was true. And that's why I think the closest thing we ever got to an Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Era / new Stone Cold Steve Austin was CM Punk.
Yeah.
And the sad part,
obviously now it's Kevin Owens.
Yeah, definitely. And because I love that shoot promo that they did with Kevin Owens, that was brilliant. I love that so much.
I've not seen that. Is that the one where they kept cutting his mic?
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen that then.
Now Kevin Owens is going to be facing Shane McMahon at SummerSlam. If Kevin Owens loses, he quits the WWE.
That's interesting. So obviously Kevin Owens is going to win then.
Maybe.
Unless his contract's up and it's an easy way out for him.
True. I mean, you never know. I mean, like Shane McMahon, let's all be honest, has been on a roll ever since he became the best in the world.
Yeah, I wonder where they got that idea from.
But I'm going to be honest, it's actually a good gimmick for him.
Yeah, I must admit, I do find it funny. I mean, I love the fact that he's beat Miz twice on pay-per-view.
And also, think about it, when he tells the referee to keep saying world, I get a Mr. Anderson / Kennedy vibe from it, but it's the ring announcer saying it, I mean. And I'm not going to lie, I do laugh every time he does it, and he has his eyes closed, just drinking in and telling the referee to stop, like silent peasant, like that kind of thing. And Me and Mr. Bones are actually fans of Shane McMahon, and we like the gimmick. And I'm actually glad they made Shane the bad guy and not Miz, because let's be honest, Shane McMahon is good playing a babyface and good guy, but I think he's better as a bad guy.
Yeah, he is a good heel, but I always thought that out of the three of them, out of Vince, Steph, and Shane were always the better babyface.
Yeah, and the funny
always the man that you get behind.
And also the funny thing is, in real life, I've seen a lot of interviews of people saying bad things about Vince and Stephanie, but I've never heard one bad thing of a wrestler saying a bad thing about Shane McMahon.
Yeah,
Not one bad thing.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Really.
That shows you like who's the nicer McMahon and better.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Stephanie, but it's just like, okay, go away. I'm done. Just go.
Yeah, it's like when Triple H came down at Mania and he had Stephanie with him. It's like, what's the point? Why does she need to be there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hey, at least we don't see them anymore.
Yeah, well, I said I don't watch Raw. I suppose I need to start watching it, really.
I mean, you can watch the highlights on the YouTube channel. That's what I've been doing if I missed Raw or anything else like that. I just watch the highlights.
Yeah, so I've been like sort of watching bits and bats on YouTube, you know, what's happened and stuff like that.
But anyways, now the one thing I want to talk to you about is like 2019 hasn't ended yet, but what do you think is going to happen at SummerSlam? Because right now there's a rumored match that Charlotte Flair is going to face Trish Stratus.
That's interesting.
It is. And here's the thing. I said this about Charlotte. Okay, I like her. I think she's great. But the thing is, I did not like the fact that she was being put in the main event. I always thought, you know what would have been a better match? If she faced Stephanie. Hear me out. Reasons why is because Stephanie McMahon has always said that she was the most dominant woman in the WWE, right? But
Yeah.
Charlotte calls herself the queen of the WWE. So think about it. Two big egos from different families face each other at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
See
from
who
two
would
massive
be the most dominant woman in WWE. And it doesn't even...
Yeah.
And think about it. Vince and Flair faced each other before. Why not Charlotte and Stephanie?
Never say never. That's, you see, you could be onto something there.
Yeah, like I always thought, I think that would have been a better match instead of her being added into the main event, because there was no need for her in the main event between Becky and Ronda.
Yeah. No, I'd not watched it up until there, but that's the good thing about pay-per-views. They give you the build-up to each match now. They've got a bit more in-depth about it. But, I mean, I enjoyed the triple threat match, but I was just so... I mean, like, when Charlotte won and it was like, oh, my God, and then Bayley cashed in, it was like, thank you, Bayley. If I could reach through my TV screen right now, I will grab you by your forehead and kiss you so hard.
Yeah, I know, right? Brandon, Mr. Bones' brother, was mad. He's a Charlotte Flair guy. He's always been a Charlotte Flair guy. And he was upset about that, but Mr. Bones was like, yes, yes, yes. So was I. I was happy to see Bayley win. But the thing is like, Bayley as champion has been good, but also had his downfalls. Because, like, okay, I love Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I think they're great as a team. But why a handicap match?
WWE in it, but I think that may be to sort of sow the seed between Alexa and Nikki.
But now I found out another rumor for Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss.
What's that?
All right, they're still going to stay as a team. This is a rumor. I don't know if it's true. It's a rumor, but since Alexa Bliss is going to try to focus on the main title, so instead of going for the tag team titles with Nikki Cross, I saw this on Nikki Cross's Instagram that she teamed up with Sarah Logan in a house show.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people like the idea of Sarah Logan and Nikki Cross teaming up. And I said this, how about they team up and Alexa Bliss be the leader and the manager for them? She could go for the main women's title, and Sarah and Nikki could go for the tag team titles.
Yeah, have them as like a little sort of, yeah, like a tag team and heavyweight sort of chat. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that done with women.
Yeah. So because I was thinking like I think it would be great. I could see Nikki Cross and Sarah Logan as a team. And ever since those pictures were uploaded on the Instagram and Sarah Logan's Instagram, a lot of the fans who comment on the picture saying, I want to see you guys team up more.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It mix it up a bit. Yeah, why not give them a run out as a team? If all else fails, then if it don't work, there's a million and one ways you can pull a plug on it.
Yeah, and also I could see it actually working, but if it doesn't work, I can at least say this: they tried.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the reason why they probably would put Sarah Logan with Nikki Cross is that obviously, I mean, maybe Sarah Logan's still a little bit green, and she's not quite getting the. I don't know.
Yeah, she's already injured. Sarah Logan's already put 2 women's on the shelves.
Yeah, you see, that's never a good thing when you've injured people. It's like Nia Jax. She's injured 2 people, and then she went and got injured herself.
So maybe Sarah Logan being around Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, like you said, she's still green, so it might actually even help her out.
Yeah, I mean, you see, I think that's what the problem is with WWE. They're quick to pull people up from NXT when they're not necessarily ready for it. You know, I mean, it's like let them stay in NXT a bit longer. I mean, unless they've been wrestling for years, like Candice LeRae's.
Yeah.
She could go straight up to the main roster now because she's been doing it for years, and the chances are that she's not going to hurt anybody. She's going to be safe.
She's been wrestling, I think I'm saying this right, she's been wrestling since she was 16.
Yeah, she has been wrestling a long time, so like people like her, yeah, you can bring them up to the main roster when you want to because they're ready for it. But like you Sarah Logan's and Nia Jax, I mean, she's just a liability. The amount of wrestlers that she's injured and put on injured list, and you know, and even hurt herself doing stuff that's, you know, everyday bread and butter stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you got to really look at it and think, is it really worth it in the long run?
True. I got another question for you about women wrestlers. And if Mr. Bones was here, he would be tearing her to shreds, especially with Mad Mike. Sasha Banks.
Is she back on Raw or anything yet?
She's still gone.
She's sitting out her contract.
Okay, I used to defend Sasha Banks, but at this point, even for me now, it's like, I can't anymore. I mean, Mr. Bones
I
has
think
said
she's going to
this.
sit out her contract and then maybe go
That's
to
what she's
AEW.
doing. That's what she's doing. And also, Mr. Bones said this on Twitter one time. When Sasha Banks was added to the Elimination Chamber last year, he's like this, oh, I get it, WWE, so you got to add a woman who complains all the time and not add my girl Nia Jax in the match? I see how it is.
Yeah.
Mr. It's a Nia Jax guy, so he loves Nia. Same with me.
Yeah, but can you imagine the damage that Nia Jax could do to herself and others in an Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
That's an environment you need trusted and safe people to be working in. You can't put a liability in somewhere like that.
But do you know why Sasha is sitting at home letting her contract go by?
She's just not happy, is she? I bet.
Yeah, she's not happy because she lost the women's tag team title.
Yeah, but she can't expect her to hold on to that forever, surely.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is that she's upset because her and Bayley had to lose it, and she did a temper tantrum. backstage about it. And so when she lost the titles to the Iconics, she decided just to go home. And when I found that, I was like, oh, so you're complaining again and you're thinking you're doing something right. Well, you're acting like a child. And just, I mean, you were never going to keep that title for long.
Exactly. It's not like she was going to hold it till she retired.
Yeah. Have you realized every time, like we talked about this a couple of times, the Sasha and Charlotte Flair rivalry for the Raw Women's title was by far the worst.
Yeah, because it was like every other week the title changed hands and it just made it to the point where the title just weren't worth anything.
And Sasha won the belt, and then next, a couple days later, loses it, wins it again, a week, loses it.
Yeah. And it was like, it just got to the point where you're like, oh, so-and-so's women's champion, but it don't matter. Because next week, the other one will be champion.
The only time I actually did care when who was Raw Women's Champion was Alexa Bliss, and I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people don't like it, Ronda Rousey. I actually liked Ronda as Women's Champion.
I'm a massive Ronda Rousey fan. And when she came down at the Royal Rumble, and that music started, and I was sat there and I was like, that's Ronda Rousey's UFC music, is that? And then when she come through curtain, I was like, oh my god, it's Ronda Rousey. And I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And then she sort of pointed at the WrestleMania sign. I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, no, you're just totally taking Asuka's moment. Because she's just won the Royal Rumble. And then you've come down and just completely pissed all over the parade. And like, Ronda, I love you, I really do, but this is Asuka's moment. And it's like, you can tell that Triple H is good friends with Ronda Rousey. I mean, I personally think he's scared of her, but
I would be.
No, hell yeah. But yeah, like that was supposed to be Asuka's moment. And then
And now look at Asuka.
Yeah. She teamed up with Kairi Sane now, isn't she?
Not gonna lie, I love Kairi. I love her so much.
My little boy loves on 2K19 when she comes down with the whole pirate gimmick.
That's why I love her.
Yeah, he's all over it. He thinks it's great. He's even said to us all the hats. I'm like, yeah, but they're designed for girls. He's like, it's a pirate hat. It's for either. I'm like, no, these are proper girls' pirate hats. And he's like, I want one. I'm like, you're not having one because they're for girls.
I'm gonna still buy one if they ever sold it. I'm gonna buy one. I don't care if it's a girl's hat. I'm gonna buy one no matter what.
It wants.
I mean, I have the Raw Women's title.
Yeah, but that's understandable. But he wants the little steering thing for the boat as well. You know, which comes down with the steering, the thing for the ship. He wants one of them. I'm like, no, they don't sell them. He's like, well, will they ever? I'm like, probably not. No.
Not if you could go to a store and find one, then you could probably buy one.
There'd be some sort of oddity shop that sells something like that.
But what is your thoughts on Kairi and Asuka teaming up and having Paige as their manager?
You see, I think as a team, if they were booked properly, they would definitely give the Iconics a run for their money.
Yeah, I agree. But why Paige as their manager?
She's not doing much else at the moment, is she really?
She can't wrestle, so...
Yeah, exactly. Why not have her as a manager? And she'll probably turn on them at some point, like she has done with everybody else. No, I think if they were booked and written right, Asuka and Kairi Sane could be a really good team.
Yeah.
Really, really good team.
Yeah, I agree. I just, at this point, it's just like, okay, I like this team, but I had that feeling WWE's going to screw it up somehow, but...
Yeah, it's inevitable they'll cock up somewhere.
Yeah. Or hey, maybe this could be the team.
Yeah, maybe this is where they'll get it right, and
maybe they're waiting for SummerSlam for them to put the belt on the titles.
Maybe, yeah.
But here's a sad truth about the women's titles right now. I love the tag team titles for the women's belts. I love them. But the sad part is, even though a lot of people are saying the Iconics are by far the worst tag team champions, but here's the thing. It's actually not their fault, because I actually found out during like meetings for like bookings of the matches and all that kind of stuff, they leave out the tag team titles out. It's like how we were describing Dean as U.S. champion. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
And the Iconics, I actually found out, are furious because WWE's not putting them in matches and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would be if you're a champion. You want to be out there and you want to be defending and stuff like that. And if you're just getting totally overlooked, then yeah, I can see why they'd be frustrated.
Like, how about just like call like the YouTube tag team titles? These belts could be only defended on YouTube. Doesn't need to be on television.
Yeah, see, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, like they could just do that. Like, okay, we're not going to be on television, but it's going to be defended on YouTube where people can watch us. So,
Probably get as many views on YouTube as you would watching Raw.
it's actually funny you say that. The 24/7 tile matches on YouTube or promos or whatever get the most views.
I can imagine.
I was actually happy to see Jinder Mahal win the tile, but I love the fact that he won it a second time and he lost it on a plane.
Yeah. So when he fell asleep and he was like that, pinning him.
I am the new 7-Eleven European television champion, R-Truth calls it.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. Love R-Truth. He's so cool.
I love the guy. I mean, I'm happy they're doing something with him.
He's carried that belt. He's made it what it is.
You know how many times he's held the title, though?
What, 25?
No, it feels like 25, but no, it's 10 times.
10. It feels like 25.
It does, doesn't it?
Video I see, it's him and Drake Maverick tossing it between them. We see they need to be careful with that as well, that it don't become the whole Charlotte and Sasha thing.
Yeah, but at this point, I think it's not, because, like...
Having said that, the 24/7 title is just a bit of fun in it, really.
Yeah.
That's the title that WWE can just say, oh, do you know what, we've got nothing going on for you this week, so Zack Ryder's going to beat R-Truth, and then Kurt Hawkins will get jealous and roll up Zack Ryder, and then while he's celebrating, R-Truth will come around and roll up Kurt Hawkins, and he'll get belt back and then run off.
You know what made me... when I watched Raw Reunion, Pat Patterson and Jared Briscoe won the 24/7 title. And the first thing that popped up to my head, and I left a comment on the video of them winning the belt, right? And I said this. This makes me wish Crash Holly was still alive.
Yeah.
And after when Jared Briscoe wins the title, Crash could take the title off of him.
Yeah.
And we can have a match between Crash and R-Truth. Crash Holly, the king of the hardcore title. R-Truth, the king of the 24/7 title. Who is the better champion?
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
It just made me wish that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah, bless him.
Yeah.
I mean, I were, when it happened, I was shocked. When I found out that it passed, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I was so sad. He was my favorite Holly, except for Molly Holly. She was my crush. I know a lot of people said Lita, Trish, and all that kind of stuff. I had the biggest crush on Molly Holly more.
That's understandable. She weren't ugly. She was attractive.
I know. The reasons why I liked her is because, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I still found Lita and Trish attractive. But the one thing that caught my eye on Molly Holly is that she was not like the other women wrestlers back in the day. She was a lot different.
Yeah, she was. She had her own little thing going on that made her stand out from the rest of when you got her. I mean, she had her own little thing. Lita had the old Team Extreme thing, you know, with the baggy trousers and the moonsaults and the thumb on display and stuff.
And Trish had the relationship with Vince and the TNA. I'm not talking about total nonstop action.
Yeah. Yeah, there were that, and then there were obviously Stacey Keebler who had legs that went all the way up to her shoulders.
Good song though.
Oh yeah, yeah, very good song.
Okay, one last question. What's your thoughts on Kofi being the first African American to win the WWE Championship?
I'm all over it. I think it's good. It'd be even better if he left the Not So New Day. But I mean, obviously, you know my thoughts on that. I've never liked it from day one, but it got over with fans, and then they sort of started to turn again against them, and then somehow they managed. Not the WWE, the three guys themselves managed to get the fans back onto them, and it's just gone from there. But I do like Kofi Kingston as a champion. I think it's well deserved. I have absolutely no issue. I mean, when I told my girlfriend that Kofi were champion, I mean, she don't watch wrestling. She's not interested, but there's a few wrestlers that she does like, and she does like Kofi Kingston. When I told her that he was WWE champion, she was well happy. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I says, he's the champion. She's like, oh, brilliant. And I'm like, no. I says, it is. I says, it's well deserved. I says, because he's been there for a long time now.
And now he's going to be facing Randy Orton at SummerSlam.
Well, you'd like to think that after beating Ziggler twice, beating Kevin Owens, you'd like to think that he could beat Randy Orton. But Randy Orton's
feeling the Cinderella story is going to end at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think Kofi will win it.
Here's the thing: if Kofi loses, he had a good run with the title, and also his name is in history.
I'd say he was the first African American champion. That's what they're looking for, even though they now acknowledge him as African American, whereas when he first came in, he was Jamaican.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he slipped up at Survivor Series and Triple H picked up on it, and he's like, "Hang on, I thought you were Jamaican."
Yeah.
Thought you were Jamaican.
Kofi's face like, ooh.
Oh damn, yeah. That was when CM Punk were on their team, wasn't it? And they went out and everybody was chanting his name. And you could see it in Triple H's face. It was like, this dude's money. This guy is money.
And look what they did to him in the end.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Yeah, it's... I mean, having said that, though, but every side's got two stars, and so far there's only CM Punk come out and given his version. I mean, I'm not saying he's lying, but we've got his side. We haven't got Vince's side or anybody else's side.
Well, I got one question about Kofi's title win, but who had the better Cinderella story, Daniel Bryan or Kofi?
See, I don't even know if Kofi did anything on Indies or if he's a complete product.
He was an indie wrestler. He was an indie wrestler.
What? I don't think Kofi's in that unfortunate position of where he's copying Daniel Bryan's story. So, like, Daniel Bryan did it first, so you got to look at it as well. He did it, and now they're doing the same with Kofi. It's like if you compared Austin and Owens, it's always going to be Austin was the first one to go anti-McMahon and anti-authority. Owens just copied. So it's kind of hard on those two guys in that respect, and it's a shame. But I mean, I like how they've done it with Kofi. How he's been sort of mid-card all the way through his career, and now he's got that push that he deserves. And
also the emotion that Kofi had at WrestleMania when he won the title, you could tell that was all real.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, they know they're going to win and everything, but you can always tell when it means something to them when they react like Kofi did.
There was a video I found on Instagram and Facebook. It was Shad from Crime Time. You remember him?
Yeah.
He was hanging out with MVP, and they were watching the pay-per-view, I think at a bar or somewhere. I don't remember. And when Kofi won, MVP and Shad were actually legit in tears. They were crying. They were tears of joy of when Kofi won the title. And JTG, he was at WrestleMania watching in the crowd, and he was in tears himself too. So it's just like you could tell this was like legit, like not just for those guys, but for fans in general. This was like an emotional moment.
Yeah, because it works out now. JTG and Crime Time will have come through about the same time as Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
In developmental. So obviously they'll have known him back then. MVP obviously will have known who he was because pretty sure they might have had a couple of matches against
They
each
teamed
other.
up once. They teamed up once.
That's it, yeah, they teamed up. So he'll know who he was. But yeah, Crime Time, yeah, they'll have come through about the same time as Kofi won. So yeah, you can see why. I mean, I must admit, I were happy that Kofi had won it because it was like, in my opinion, it was like, yeah, Kofi definitely deserves this. I have no problem with Kofi being WWE champion at all.
Yeah.
My only problem is that it's still a New Day.
And now the New Day are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions too.
You see, so like technically, if you're going by how they've always been, where they've done the freeway ruling, Kofi's a double champion.
Yeah. And you know what I want to see? WWE teased this and see how fans reacted. They had a battle royal, and they added Big E into the match. And whoever wins faces Brock at SummerSlam. A lot of people picked Big E to win. But even for me, I was like thinking, like, I would love to see Big E win, but I already know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah, it would have been obvious. But I mean, I thought the way they build up Braun Strowman, to face Brock.
Yeah, I know, but after the 2 losses already with Lesnar, it was never going to happen.
Yeah, but he was the only one that sort of legitimately posed a threat to Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that he's as big as Lesnar, he's as quick as Lesnar, and he's as strong as Lesnar. But the fact that they just refused to give him belt was just ridiculous because the fans wanted it.
I agree.
You could tell that they wanted to see Braun beat Brock for the Universal. I mean, you never know. Further down the line, we might get to see it. Braun might get a run, and then they might put him up against Brock and have him beat him. But
would you ever like to see Big E face Kofi for the WWE title? Would you be down for that?
Yeah, I'd rather Big E face him than Xavier Woods.
I would agree with you on that one too. I mean, here's the thing: Xavier Woods is probably like the nicest guy ever, but let's all be honest, he's kind of like the weak link of the group.
You see, to me, he's always seemed like he's the gobshite of the group.
You know,
he's the one who runs his mouth, and it's Big E that has to bail him out while Kofi, helps him out.
This is what Mr. Bones says about the New Day. Kofi, main eventer. Big E, the powerhouse. Xavier Woods, the guy who was in the sex tape with Paige.
Yeah. That's, pretty damn accurate. Yeah,
So,
I'd go with that.
I mean, it's sad, too, because Xavier Woods is not that bad of a wrestler.
No, I mean, once I realised who he was who he used to be in TNA, I was like, oh my god, yeah, I used to quite like that guy. But like when you watch him on screen, it's just like I could quite happily put my fist through the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've watched an episode of his YouTube channel with AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is the only reason I watched that episode of Up, Down, Down.
I actually really do love Up, Down, Down. I actually love watching it.
Yeah, he's totally different, and I was like, see, this dude, I can, I'm liking, I'm digging him. I think he's all right, but when you see him on TV, and it's like, no, you just.
I want to put my fist through the screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, you know who the current Up, Down, Down champion is right now, right?
No.
Jimmy Uso was the last champion. Samoa Joe is the current up, up, down, down champion.
Awesome. Because the last thing I heard about anything like that was when Xavier Woods went on Twitter about how he was so good at this game, and Kenny Omega said, "Well, actually, I'm a bit good at that myself." So they agreed to go 1-on-1, and Kenny Omega beat him.
That was so cool.
Yeah, and when Omega beat him, I was like, "Yes."
You could even tell, like, even though Kenny Omega is not a fan of WWE, he still got friends in the WWE. And the funny thing is, there was rumors about him going to the WWE one time, and Heath Slater even mentions, like, hey, you remember when we teamed up at FCW? Maybe we should reunite again.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if Kenny Omega signed with WWE, Heath Slater is the first person he'd want to be associated with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I would
want to be a case of go back with Anderson Gallows, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles and be like, join club, and then really give it some clout.
I would be down for that. But here's the thing. This is what I would like to see if that did happen. If Kenny Omega went to the WWE, I know there would be a tease of him joining the club, but I want him to be the guy who wouldn't join. He said, guys, that's just into Japan. That's no. Like I thought
that, but then this is now sort of thing.
Yeah. And he has a rivalry with them. And I actually heard a rumor that Finn will be joining the club soon, since all four of them are on Raw.
I hope so.
And I could just see like a Finn and Kenny Omega teaming up and all that kind of stuff, and Finn turns his back on them. And and they're no longer called the club; they're called the oWoUK, which is still a club, but it's called the Only Club, which is kind of stupid. But
yeah,
but I could just see like Kenny Omega going through all of them just to get to AJ.
Yeah,
because like
they
keep
if they were going to do that, it'd have to be AJ that went after Omega to get him back for what happened in New Japan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that's what I could see. I could see them mention that.
That would mean that WWE would have to acknowledge that they had a history in New Japan.
Oh, I think they would now, if with Heyman and Bischoff.
I don't think they would, because given the fact that New Japan is gaining ground over there in the States,
they wouldn't have to show video clips. They could just mention like in interviews and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like the new way Anderson and Gallows are the tag team champions in Japan, stuff like that.
Yeah, they could just do that. They don't have to show clips. They could just show like we were friends at one time in Japan, and then I kicked you out of the club. They could just say the club in Japan. I kicked you out of the club and became the new leader, while you turned your back on us and came here.
Yeah, while you ran away and came here. Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see
this. Kenny Omega could even say this, because I actually found out from Leatherface, who wrestles in Japan. When I had Leatherface on my channel, I was wearing an AJ Styles shirt. He told me that AJ said he would never go to the WWE, and a few months later, he's in the WWE. Yeah, Kenny Omega could actually say that as like, and also you told us you would never join the WWE. Like, what would you think of that?
I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see Omega in WWE, but having said that, I don't think he needs him.
He doesn't. To be honest, I think he could retire right now and be happy with the amount of money he's made. He could just retire right now. But
yeah, with the money he's made and what he's accomplished, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he could just leave tomorrow and he could say, you know what? I didn't need WWE. That just shows you. You don't need WWE to be making money and be happy.
That's it. I mean, I think if he were still in New Japan on its own, then, maybe if right contract were given to him with right terms by WWE, he would. But I think now with AEW, it's a case of, right, you want bucks of what we're building this company on.
Yeah.
So,
like, for instance, let's say one day you get invited to join a new YouTube channel that actually makes money, and you ask me, what would you think? I would just tell you, if you go join, I'll be happy for you. I'd be supporting you, and also you'd be welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Like if I was WWE, you were AEW or Kenny Omega, and I was a friend of yours in the company. It's like, hey, dude, if you come to the WWE, that's great. You go to AEW, kick some ass over there, brother. It's like that.
That's the thing at the moment now. There's not so much where you expect somebody to leave a company and go straight to WWE. Now there's AEW as an alternative, and they've got pretty much a massive bankroll, so they can pay pretty much whatever people want. But it's one of those things. It's quality over quantity, and I hope that's where AEW don't go wrong. They don't have a load of wrestlers who are crap.
Don't pull WCW.
Yeah, rather than waiting and getting the better wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, Richard, I am happy to have you back on the podcast, and I really do appreciate taking the time to be on here. I know it's probably like, what, midnight there right now?
Nearly 3 a.m.
Holy crap. Well, again, thank you for taking the time to be on the channel, and also happy to be back on YouTube with the podcast. The last podcast video we did was WrestleMania. That was with you and Mr. Bones. And now it's summer. We're back. And thank you for taking the time and being a part of it, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, because the last time we did it, it started off as a pubcast, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. And that was an hour-long video, and this is going on almost 2 hours now?
Ah, you see.
Yeah, so.
We're smashing it.
Yeah. But, hey, thank you again, brother. Everybody, Richard has a YouTube channel. He has 2 of them. It's oWoUK and Rick Pete. Go subscribe to both of them on YouTube. And also, you have a merchandise?
Yeah, I have a Teespring store. The link is on my Rick Pete website.
And also the link's down below, too. If you want to buy a T-shirt, go support him. And go support both of his YouTube channels. And, again, thank you, brother, for taking the time. Really do appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, it's always fun.
And thank you, Maniacs, for listening and watching on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Maniac Podcast. And also, what's the new website again? Call for our new podcast again?
Bear with me. It's on my phone. It's Podbean or something like that. Bear with me. It is. Yeah, Podbean.
Podbean, goes follow us on there. It's a new website that we were using. A lot of other podcasts use it, especially like OSW Review. Everybody on there and give it a shot.
Stone Cold uses it.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin uses it too.
Jericho,
good old JR, and X-Pac also. And so, yeah, go follow us on there. So show us the support. And we love you, Maniacs. Thank you for listening and watching. We love you. Have a good night.